Welcome back. NBC News has obtained a list of the military projects the Defense Department is cutting in order to put $3.6 billion towards building the border wall that the president promised originally that Mexico was going to pay for. That's not happening now. This is all part of U.S. taxpayer money. Congressional Democrats are condemning the move, calling it simply a cash grab by the Trump administration. They haven't said, though, what they'll actually do in response. President Trump, meanwhile, defended the Pentagon action, calling it a matter of national security.
When you have thousands of people trying to rush our country, I think that's national security. When you have drugs pouring into our country, I view that as national security. And he had very good conversations with various members of Congress.
With me now is Congresswoman Madeleine Dean. She's a Democrat from Pennsylvania and a member of the House Judiciary and Financial Services Committee. Congresswoman Dean, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me, Chuck.
Let me start directly with that. Look, you guys went to court to try to stop this national emergency. He has, it looks like he has the legal right to do this. If that's the case, what can Congress do?
I believe, and we saw in statements by Speaker Pelosi, that we'll be in court defending against this grab. Just think about it. It was a wall that is going to be completely ineffective against the problems that we do face at our border that are very real, and the inhumane treatment of migrants, especially children there, as imposed by this administration. But to take $3.6 billion, insist that a wall be built by Election Day, in other words, abuse of his presidential power for political and personal gain. We'll be fighting him in court. I'm confident of that.
No, I understand that, but I believe the court said his use of the National Emergencies Act here was in his purview, no?
I do know back in the decision a couple of months ago, yes. Mm-hmm. But in light of recent facts, I think you
can go back to court?
Requires another look.
Okay, and then what? I
believe we have a strategy to go back.
There is another
and to block it.
There is another avenue that you have if you believe he's violated the Constitution.
Yes, and I'm very much eager to continue with that. You know, we're headed back on Monday. We'll be back in session. We have important oversight. We have important investigations to do, specifically in the area of impeachment. As I said, this is a political, personal move. Imagine any other elected official saying, do this, spend this money that was not allocated for these resources before Election Day to help my reelection. Right. And actually, what I think is strange is it's a failed strategy. He has told people that go forward, don't worry about eminent domain, don't worry about environmental problems, don't worry about contract rights, property rights. I think it will be a failed strategy. I think he's going to have people up in arms on the border when he tries to take personal, private property for his political gain to build a big black wall along 175 miles. It's ineffective. It's stupid. It is...
I hear all your criticism.
It's this administration.
Okay. I guess I go back to what you just said, though. You're making a case that it violates the Constitution. And you're not the only one. A lot of Democrats have made this case. How is an article of impeachment not the next avenue if the courts are going to claim that he has this power?
Well, I think you saw that just before we went for district work, that Jerry Nadler, chair of Judiciary Committee that I'm a part of, and our entire committee steered the ship in the direction of now impeachment investigations so that we can put these facts before the American people and draft appropriate articles of impeachment. That's what we have to do. And you know, Chuck, you've been watching it. Yeah. We've been obstructed at every turn.
Well,
we had to go to courts to authorize our subpoenas.
Right. Well, I was just going to say, while you still may have some obstruction issues, if you actually formalize yourself as an impeachment inquiry, you become a grand jury and you have a lot more power. So I guess the question is, where is the committee on that debate?
You know what? I'll tell you when we get back. I don't think we feel that we lack any power.
But you do. Don McGahn's not there. I mean, the point is, I say this not, I think if you have a White House not cooperating, you're leaving some power on the table, I guess is the better way to put it.
The very thing that we've done is go into court to compel Don McGahn, and we've used the language impeachment investigation. The court recognizes that language as signaling the dire need for a quick decision. So I look forward to a quick decision getting Don McGahn in front of us, Lewandowski, and other players in the important Mueller report. I really want to remember what's going on here. This is a president who is in a panic. I think in some ways the walls are closing in on him. And so he's ordered his Pentagon to do this $3.6 billion taking. This is taking away from 127 military construction projects, half here and half around the world. It will affect our cybersecurity, our drone security, our possible readiness. Imagine that the president wants to do that for a vanity wall that will be ineffective. All the while, as he harms children. I hope you're looking at, I know you are, the reports, the dire reports.
Congresswoman, you just read my mind. I was just about to ask you. This is the IG report from the Health and Human Services Inspector General. I assume that's what you're referring to? Yes, go continue.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's heartbreaking, but we've been seeing it. We've had hearings on immigration in judiciary where it is very apparent that the administration has no idea how many children they have separated from their parents. Literally, they have no count. They don't know. And we know the dire consequences, the lifelong consequences to children. In part of that report, I read something that maybe adults don't think about. When the child and parent are separated, the child's world is quite small. They know the comfort of their parent, of their family. They don't know the political process or the pawn or the evil, cruel nature of this administration using these children. So what do they believe? They believe horrible things. Number one, that they were abandoned by their own parent. Number two, they think their parent was killed or maybe they will be killed. Yeah. Think of that. The small, beautiful world, the precious world of a child, and rip a parent away, they feel abandoned. That will have lifelong consequences. The Inspector General has pointed it out. Others have pointed it out. And I have pointed it out at hearings with our immigration officials.
Well, Congresswoman, you point out, I compel people to read the IG report because it is a tough read on exactly what you just described. The impact, these were not teenagers. These were young kids, and the impact, the mental health impact on them that the IG puts out there. It's one of those you can't believe the policy hasn't changed if more people see this IG report.
And Chuck, I was at the border. I wanted to make sure that I saw the border. I went to Clint, where I saw children behind glass. They literally would not let us speak or get near the children. They had them in a cell meant for adults. And if you read that IG report, some of the things, the expressions that the children say, they say physically their heart hurts, their heartbeat hurts. They are so emotionally wounded that they feel as though their heart is breaking. When we talked to the children between the glass, I literally held up a sign and said, "We heart you, we love you." These children have no idea why they're standing in a cell, a cold cell behind glass, not able to see their parents, separated from them with the cruelest of tactics. And you know what the guard said to me when I did that? He stopped me from doing that. "How dare you? What are you doing?" I said, "I'm communicating that we're here to help. We love them." These children need love and support, and this administration has cruelly harmed them for a lifetime.
Congresswoman Madeleine Dean, I'm so glad that you did bring up that IG report. Like I said, people just need to read it. Pure and simple. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Democrat from Pennsylvania. We'll be watching when you guys get back to town next week. Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.